interwebs, how are you doing? I am doing well. I'm just making a quick vlog before I film Downtime Tuesday, and I also have to do my Loot Crate unboxing, which is like sitting on these headphones. Never mind that. So I'm super excited. So you guys know I really like to write things down in notebooks and like use a planner, and I know that's like a really weird thing to like really like, but nevertheless, it's always been something I really enjoyed doing. I feel like writing things down really helps me remember them. It helps me like organize my thoughts. I feel like it helps me be more productive and more motivated because I have like this list of things to do. My life is like a giant to-do list, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Anyways, so I did a review. I don't know if you can see it. My Erin Condren planners over there. I did a review kind of thing of the vertical and the horizontal Erin Condren planners, and the truth is they worked for me for a long time, and as of right now I don't feel like that's the right system for me. I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm sure there's a lot of people who it works wonderful for, and for a while it did work for me, but I have a real problem where if I fall behind and I spend say a week or two where I don't write down all my planning, I feel wrong. Like having those blank pages and like everything is so pretty that it feels like if I write something and it's not like uniform and really nice, that it's not good or something. It's a very compulsive feeling that I have about writing in notebooks. I really like to write in new notebooks, but then once they're written in, I feel like they are ruined. And I've had this problem with my Erin Condren planner for a while. I really enjoyed decorating it, and then once it was decorated, I felt weird writing in it. The vertical planner I didn't like because it did not have lines. All the boxes were just open for like writing in, and that does not work for me. I need lines. I need structure. So that wasn't working for me. And then the horizontal planner, I liked that there were lines, and I liked that there was less wasted space, I guess. But then in the same sense, the way the boxes were formatted, like I really just wanted a vertical planner where every single day was a column that you could make a to-do list in. Like no separating into 3 parts, no big blank spaces, no this, that, and the thing. I just really wanted every day to be a list because that's the easiest way for me to organize my thoughts. So let me back up here and give you a little context. I've avoided Pinterest like the plague. I know how I am. I know how I'm obsessive about things. I know how I have slight addictions to mobile games. I've been playing Game of War for like a year. I've spent an embarrassing amount of money on that game. I play Nico Atsume. Also, embarrassing amount. I've spent like $40 on Nico Atsume. Like, what is that? Tsum Tsum, Disney Tsum Tsum, tons of money there. I am what mobile game industries and like pay to access content industries would call a whale. If there are purchases, there's, probably the majority of people spend $10. I spend $100. It's a problem. And I'm aware of this. So I've stayed away from Pinterest because Pinterest often links you like, okay, you're on Pinterest and you see this thing you like and here's all the links of where to buy them. I don't need that in my life. I don't have the self-control. Obviously, this story is leading to the fact that I made a Pinterest. I made a Pinterest because I wanted to show I've been going and getting my nails done, and I wanted to give ideas to my nail tech. How cute are my nails? Anyways, of things I wanted for my nails, which led to me looking at things for my kitchen. I totally am redoing my kitchen, like not renovating it, like painting everything and cushions and pastel canisters. Also on Pinterest, I found this thing called a bullet journal. I am so obsessed with the idea of bullet journaling, it's unreal. I've already ordered a Moleskine squared notebook. It's basically like a freeform method of planning where you use like a little icon system that works for you. You can do it any way you want. There's no skipped pages. If you skip a day, it doesn't matter because there's never going to be blank space. I'm very excited about it. I feel like if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google it because I'm not going to be able to do a good job explaining what this is without like something to show you. But I went to Target because I thought Target would have a notebook that was like, I really wanted graph paper because I feel like how perfectly organized would everything be in graph paper? Like, it's going to be the same distance and the same width and height. And I was like giddy about graph paper. Turns out Target doesn't carry a single notebook that's graph paper. So I went to Staples, which is still open. I had no idea. I thought that franchise closed. Went to Staples and they only had 3 options for graph paper notebooks, and they were all like hot dog style notebooks, like vertical. Wasn't gonna work for me. I couldn't do the like legal pad thing. Not my life. So I went home and I ordered a Moleskine squared 8.5 by 5.5 inch notebook. I got it in magenta. I'm super excited about it. Long story short, I ordered 2 of them. I did not mean to. Me and Amazon had like an hour-long conversation, so I'm gonna have an extra one. Not sure. Hiccup. Not sure what I'm going to do that. Yeah, I might do a giveaway. I might give it to my sister. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. But once I start my bullet journal, I will show it to you guys because I think it's like revolutionary. I don't know why I'm so attached to this idea of planning, but there's so much creativity that goes into it, and there's space for everything, and you can organize it exactly how you want. So if you do something a day and it doesn't like work for you and you want to tweak it and change it, the next day you tweak it and change it. And it seems so silly, like, isn't that just a notebook? Yeah, it basically is just a notebook. But what I really liked about it is that a lot of people are using this as like almost like a journal of their life. Like, okay, so it's not like, dear diary, like, had these feelings today. It's just kind of like, you know, the night before, the morning of, you write everything that you need to do, and you keep track of what gets done and what doesn't. And maybe if you hear a song you like, you jot it down so that you know about it. And if you went and saw the movies, you might like write that movie down. It's sort of like a log of like what happened to you. And that's why people use these really high quality notebooks like Moleskine, or there's another one like Lecherum. That's probably not how you say that. But these like quality notebooks that are going to last a while. I'm super excited about my bullet journal. So the notebook will be here on Thursday. I also ordered mechanical pencils in the thickest lead that I could find, which was 0.9 millimeter, because I also, like I was telling you, I feel like I ruin things. That's often when I'm writing in pen, because I'll have super nice penmanship and then I'll make an error, and then I feel like I've just sullied the whole page with my error, and it's like really upsetting for me. It's bizarre and psychotic, but it's the truth, and it's like really, really upsetting for me. So I wanted to write in pencil, but then like, who has pencil sharpeners just laying around, right? So I can't do like wooden pencil. That sounds like really a hassle. But then mechanical pencils, the lead is always so thin, and like I feel like it doesn't complement my writing style. So I actually did research, and I got these super thick lead mechanical pencils. This is the most convoluted story of I got a notebook of all time, but this is my real feelings about this subject. Also, when I went and got my nails done the other day, I bought this lip balm. Look at how massive this is. Like, I feel like I wish I had a regular chapstick for scale. Massive chapstick. This is like the best stuff. If you happen to go anywhere and you see this, it's called the Balm. If you happen to see this anywhere and you're in the market for chapstick, definitely get this. It's so, so good. And it feels so good. Anyways, I need to do my hair. My roots are really weird, right? Like, it's like the dye didn't stick to the roots of my hair. It's like still white, and then they started to grow out. So I'm just going to do them again. And then I think I'm going to section off like this bit of hair down here and do like streaks of blue and purple and blue and purple. And then the pink will lay over top, and it'll just be like peekaboo. Yeah, I clearly have had a weird day. Like, I had fried pickles, pretzels, and a brownie for breakfast at 4:30 in the afternoon. That's not okay. I'm aware that that's not okay, but like, it's my life, okay? Don't judge me. So I hope that you guys are all having a nice Monday, and I'm sorry for these vlogs that happen where it's just me talking about whatever ridiculous. I feel like, oh, my hair. I feel like a long time ago I used to make, and I mean a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years, I get emails all the time that are like, why don't you work at the game store anymore? Why don't you make vlogs at the game store anymore? The game store doesn't exist anymore. Also, I was like 22 in those videos, and I'm like 20, almost 28 now. So I'm no longer working at a video game store. But it's odd how on the internet, because your life is kind of forever chronicled in these little, like, you see these little snippets of your everyday life, and people forget that you like grow up. And I'm not saying I'm like super mature now, but I feel kind of bad for the people who started watching my vlogs like 6-7 years ago, because they're so vastly different than they were then. Like I used to kind of just like vlog when I was at work at the game store and I was bored and I had downtime, and I don't know, like they weren't great vlogs, or maybe they were, I don't know. And now I really like doing this kind of like one-on-one chit chat like thing, but I don't know, maybe other people don't like it so much, but I really like it. I feel like I get to have these serious talks with you and maybe get to know me a little better, because I feel like there's a real skewed, I feel like I try to be super nice on YouTube and like professional and polite, right? And then I go to Twitter and like I just have no filter, and people are so taken back by my actions. It's, speaking of Twitter, do you know what's weird to me? 10 minutes and 30 seconds. By the way, my camera no longer has a battery and I can film unlimited, so my vlogs are going to just be out of control long from now on, and I'm sorry about that, or you're welcome. Back to Twitter. Do you know what's weird? When people who you do not directly tweet block you. Like, you don't have to follow me, but like not all the time, but once in a while I'll see someone like retweet something and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting, let me go look at their profile. And I click on them and they're like, so-and-so's tweets are protected and they've blocked you from seeing them. I've never talked to that person. Like, that's not how Twitter works, guys. Like, if you follow someone and you don't like what they're saying, you don't block them, you unfollow them. And if you don't want to see people's retweets of them, you mute them. Blocking is something that should be reserved for people who like threaten you or harass you, or I don't know, maybe click on those Ray-Ban ads and then their Twitter gets hacked. But like, don't just block people because you're, I don't know, that's so bizarre to me. Like, and it's sort of hurtful when I like go to people's Twitters and they've got me blocked and I don't even know who they are. I've never said anything to them. Like, how can you, why would you block me? I never said anything. I never even said anything to you. Like, you could have just unfollowed me or like muted me from your timeline or something. I don't know. It's just like, why did you block me? Senpai loved me. Why? And it's a weird thing that happens like yesterday. So I like to play Heroes of the Storm, right? And that's a very toxic community. Right now, Blizzard does not have a good handle on how to handle reports. And there's also some real, in my opinion, flaws in the Heroes of the Storm system. I don't know why you can play Heroes for the first time in ranked. What? Why would you do that to the rest of the players of that game? Like, just require people have a hero level of like 5 or something before they can play them in ranked. I don't think that's asking a lot. So that leads to a lot of trolling because people will pick like a hero that's free or one that they've never played before in ranked, and then they just feed and do terrible because they don't know how to play the hero. And then there's also an issue with nothing happens when you report someone for harassment or toxic behavior or abusive chat or intentionally feeding or AFKing. Unless they actually AFK and disconnect from the game, nothing is done about those things. Like, I've heard of people getting 24-hour bans, but if I report someone for harassing me, why are they in the next game with me? What in the world, Blizzard? So anyways, I was in this game with this kid who was like horrible. I don't even, like, he wasn't good at playing, he was playing Lieutenant Morales, which if you play that game, if you don't play that game, she is a medic type character. She's very, very squishy, but her passive, as long as she hasn't been hit, she heals herself automatically. So the idea when you're playing Lieutenant Morales is to heal your partners, but to stay as far away from the battle as you possibly can to ensure that you're constantly self-healing and you don't have to worry about getting picked off because she doesn't have an escape. She doesn't have a real way of protecting herself, and she can't heal herself until like level 12 or something like that. So the idea with Lieutenant Morales is to stay away from the combat as much as you possibly can. This kid was just running straight in the middle and then being like, what the F, tanks, do your job, F and peel, don't you know how to play this game, blah blah blah, swear word, blah blah blah, curse word, blah blah blah, censored, blah blah. Bro, you know, like, just, so on top of not understanding how to play his character, not understanding how tanks work in the game, he was also horrifically toxic and then was like refusing to play by the end of the game. So I reported him and nothing happened. So I went on Twitter and I was like, hey, if you happen to get in a game with this guy, just know that he's the most toxic and lowest skilled player that I've ever dealt with in my life, which immature of me, probably. But if you Googled his name, you could find these forum posts of him literally raging, calling Blizzard names, calling other players. Like, this is a string of behavior. Like, he's always acted like this, and Blizzard has just allowed him to play in these multiplayer communities. So whatever, I got mad. And someone was like, don't feed the trolls. I hate it when people say don't feed the trolls, because I feel like it's a cultural behavior where you're not saying you're right, they shouldn't have said that and they shouldn't have behaved that way. You're saying you should ignore it. Because no, like, that's like saying it's like saying, like, oh, someone stole my shoes. Well, you shouldn't have worn shoes. Like, no, that's not the way this works. And I'm never going to not read my comments. I'm never going to ignore people that exist because of people like trolls. And I'm also not going to just, like, be a punching bag for people verbally. Like, I don't care if you want to be rude to me. Like, I will name and shame you. I do not care. But that being said, I feel like I give a lot of attention to my positive viewers as well. If you go through my YouTube channel, especially my main channel, I reply to a lot of comments. I reply to a lot of people on Twitter. And I've been trying to do this thing lately where when I reply to people, I do like a retweet reply so that people can see that I'm replying to them. Not because I'm bragging or showing off. It's just that I want people to know that I do interact and I do respond. And so I really hate when people say, like, don't read the comments or don't feed the trolls or ignore the haters. Like, no, these people's behavior needs to be, like, they need to know that what they're doing is unacceptable, that this isn't like a group mentality, that everybody thinks this way and, like, your behavior is acceptable. And, like, whether that changes their mind or not, it's irrelevant, but it's nice to know that there are other people in the world who are like, yeah, that's awful that that person just called you a bitch 7 times in the course of a Heroes of the Storm game for politely telling him how to play his character. Because I did. I was like, hey, man, you'd be a little more successful if you hung out on the outside and tried not to get hit. To which he responded, F you, bitch, I think I know how to play. Oh... I mean, you are dead right now, but sure. Tell me more about your infinite skill at Heroes of the Storm. I'm listening. So I don't know. Like, I guess, I don't think that's feeding the trolls. Feeding the trolls is when someone says, you're fat. And you say, I'm not fat. Like, that's feeding the trolls, right? Like, not that I think that someone who calls someone fat is a troll, because I think that trolling is when you, like, say ridiculous things to misplace people's anger, or say things that are intentionally stupid to get people, like, riled up, but you're not, like, saying anything at them. It's sort of like people, they'll go on, like, a political video and they'll be like, what's Obama's last name? That's trolling. Like, they're not hurting anyone's feelings. They're not, but, like, a lot of people are going to get riled up, and, like, that's trolling. Like, going into whatever system of chat and just calling people names, that's not trolling. You just are stupid. And, like, I don't think we should. I think we should address that that's not an appropriate way to behave, and not saying that it's going to solve the problem, but, like, ignoring it is not going to solve the problem either. It's not that people like that are looking for a reaction. It's that they're tilted. They have an issue with anger and like processing priorities, and, like, just, they're crazy. So I don't know. I've gone on a rant. No way. So anyways, in closing, I will not ignore the trolls, and I love notebooks, and I don't work at a video game store anymore. The end. I'm going to go. I hope that you guys all had a wonderful weekend, and I hope that you have a wonderful week coming up. And I'm going to have another video on this channel because I'm going to be moving all of my Loot Pets videos to this channel, which is super fun. I love Loot Pets because it's, like, all super fun, nerdy stuff for my dogs and my cats, and it's so great. So I have a Loot Pet. I actually have 2 Loot Pets to open. We're still working out sizing issues. This month I got a small and a large. I think what I need is a medium and a 2X, but this is what happens, okay? It happens, but that's okay, because small fits my cat and Tychus will fit in a large. Like, a medium would suffice, but he'll be fine in a large. So I will be opening those on this channel shortly, and I think that's all the things. I'm going to go. Again, have a wonderful day and a wonderful life, and please don't be rude to people on the internet. There's just no point. And don't block people who didn't even talk to you. That's just silly. Oh, wait, there was a train of thought. Anyways, this guy told me not to feed the trolls, and I retweeted it, right? And my comment on the retweet was, this is a culture of victim blaming. Like, you're, instead of saying, you're right, he shouldn't have said that to you, you're saying you should ignore that he said that to you. He blocked me for that. I didn't say anything rude to him or mean to him. I didn't like call him out or like, all I did was reply to him in a public way and he blocked me. What is that? I didn't do any, like, how can you say ignore the trolls and then be so sensitive? Like, you clearly don't even know how ruthless people are on the internet if you thought me disagreeing with you politely was bad. We came full circle. I think I do this every video. I start a thought, I forget the thought, and then right at the end, I remember what I was talking about. It's like the M. Night Shyamalan plot twist of random Panzer vlogs. I'm gonna go. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. 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 Ah!